Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here at Esther 5D Energy. I hope you've had a good week so far. I'm going to go into channel now and see what the guides have to say today. And this vessel steps back, and we step forward as the Elohim Council, a council with an angelic presence, architects of reality. And we are here in service to humanity at this time, during this shift of consciousness, during this expansion of what a human can be. And as we watch your progress and we lend our support to your path, each and every one of you as individuals, we also see a collective progression, more of a collective compassion forming. And if you can allow yourself to open up to the idea that many people are feeling a need to be compassionate to others, they're sending messages such as be kind, you see. And in the past energy, that may not have resonated with many people. But now it's starting to scratch the surface, so to speak, to get through that message of being kind to others, of allowing yourself to take a breath and remind yourself that how you treat others is important. And as a society as a whole, this is the way forward, to be able to respect each other's opinions. And in a higher consciousness, this will be much easier for you than it is now. For the frequency of separation, the frequency of not good enough, that frequency of fear is a third dimensional perspective that was shared by a whole entire collective of humanity. And while each and every one of you had your own individual way of experiencing it in the past lives that you've had, even in this lifetime, as you move forward, there will always be a variety of ways to experience a new energy. And the first thing you're going to notice is the energy that doesn't resonate with this come to the surface to be seen. So the trigger points for people, their fuses may be very short. They may get sucked in, so to speak, into some of the separation that goes on, the take a side type of energy. Pick a side. One side is right and one side is wrong, and this is the way it is type of energy that permeated the third dimensional reality for a certain type of experience in it. Are you ready to leave that behind? Are you ready to let go of it as just an experience of frequency? For you will have emotions, you will have feelings, you will have an experience here that is human, but in a different way, in a different frequency. It will feel different to you. You will begin to formulate a different perspective on how you look at things. And we're not saying that you may not have some of those old feelings come up within you, but you're going to feel them and they're not going to be very comfortable. You're going to feel them in your body and they're going to feel heavy. And you're going to want a way of relieving yourself of it. So the first thing to do is not to be afraid of it, to allow it to share its presence with you in that frequency, that feeling, and then allow it to pass through. And how can you get it to pass through faster? This is up to the individual experience. There may be times when you're being asked to really feel how you have been in the past. Really look at it and give it a chance to present itself Give it the space that it needs. And then when it's ready and you're ready, really ready, in a deep way, let it go. For if you try and pass it off, if you try and ignore it, it will continue to come back until it is looked at and felt and acknowledged, you see. Acknowledging means a lot to your body and to your spirit, to your emotional state. Times when you haven't been acknowledged in the past will come up for you to look at now and ask in a very gentle way or strong way, depending on how many times you have tried to suppress it, ask you to look at it. For when something wants to be heard by you, eventually it will be heard one way or another, you see. And that's why we ask you to allow it to come forward, to pass through, to spend some time in your being as you honor things that you may not remember as being there, but just needing to be felt and not feared and not thought of as a sign of weakness. For many of you are criticized for having emotions in this lifetime and past lifetimes. For this was a control mechanism that was used on you to control you, you see, to not allow you to use your intuition and your mind working together as your mind would interpret your intuition and your feelings and emotions as something being something you want to do or not do, or something that you feel you enjoy or don't enjoy. You see, those feelings were suppressed. They were suppressed by many different types of societies: religion, governmental, educational. You see, all along the way, you have been sort of maneuvered in a way to feel and respond in certain ways to certain emotions and feelings that you have about yourself and others. And as those get repressed in the body, they can turn into pain or illness. They can turn into a sense of frustration or anger that you then target on something else because it wasn't allowed to express itself in the moment. And in the lower frequencies, these feelings were quite strong. So as you move into higher frequency, you will find these things dissipate. They will simply be easier to let go of. But they do wish to be acknowledged at first. They do. And as you have no memory of what would necessarily be linked to it, it may be something very small that you feel is linked to it, and that's okay. You do not need to know every lifetime's experience that you had this emotion. You don't have to dissect it that way. You just allow it to pass through and acknowledge its presence in your life, that it gave you a certain experience. Thank you for that. I learned something from it, and I am not conscious or totally aware of everything that I learned, but I know it was there for a reason, and I trust myself that this was necessary for me to go through so that now I could be in this awakened state. You see, this is part of your journey here. It's part of a human collective journey. And you are contributing to that by participating by your presence here, whatever way you decide to do it. But as you move into higher consciousness, the tools that you need to guide you through it are available to you in a way that perhaps in the past they weren't, you see. They weren't really available for perhaps your parents or the other people in your life in earlier times, or for you in past lives. You may not have always had support in this way. In fact, most humanity did not. There were very few that came to this planet that were guided in this way to set an example for others in that time, but it really wasn't the human collective. We will call it the human collective had not decided to move on from the 3D reality until a certain point. And now as a whole, you all all of you have decided you want to move forward. And there are some that may not gain full consciousness during this process. They may choose to go elsewhere or do something different. So we respect that decision, for they are on an eternal path of gaining knowledge and experience. And they are at a higher level, perfectly capable, their higher self, that angelic presence that you have here within your being, that being of light that you truly are, is guiding the journey here. And it knows which way to go at a certain level, and it will experience everything it wants here until it is ready to move on in whatever frequency it chooses. And as you have awakened, you have chosen to move on to a higher frequency. You are ready to leave behind the 3D reality and not exit the body. You would like to experience this shift staying in the body that you have. And this is very exciting. This is something different than you've done before. And so you should be filled with celebration and joy that you decided to do something a different way for yourself. Your spirit is giving you an adventure here to go into higher consciousness, to learn certain things like moving the body helps move energy through it. It will relieve some of the pressure, the aches and pains, moving the body in different ways that you are according to your abilities, and allowing yourself to meditate, to go into a silence or quietness, either guided or with music, whatever way can allow you to relax and relax the mind. Give it a break, so to speak. It has been working overtime in this earlier part of your lifetime. And as you awaken, its role is changing as well. And your higher mind is stepping in and giving you more of that intuition and guidance that you need. So this is a practice you're going to be going into, because this is the way of living in the higher frequencies. You live very present in your reality, we will say. You live from a sense of knowing, a sense of that intuition. And so just know that as you move into the higher frequencies, this will get easier and easier. This vibration, as you call it, that is bathing the earth, is also flushing out some of the negativity here. And if you could use it as a harnessed positivity within your being, you may feel a little out of body. Maybe you feel a little disconnected. You perhaps don't feel quite like yourself. That is quite accurate, because who you have been is dissipating. It's dissolving as you form a new being in a new frequency. And a lot of the idea of who you thought you were, your story, is going to be left behind. It is quite valid. You honor it, and then you let it go. For it was a script, a story that you were to play, to act out, to learn, to feel. And now, in the new frequency, it's as if you're getting a new role to play, a new script, you see. But it's not written in the way that you did it before, in the unconscious state. Now you will be guided to what that role is through your intuition. And you're not to box yourself in by projecting an image of yourself in the new energy. Just that you're in abundance and you feel good. That it's the feeling and emotion of being in a high frequency that will create the reality of this new role that you're playing, as you become more and more conscious of how much power you really have over your reality. And so enjoy the idea of sort of a start over, a do-over of who you are. And it's in a good way, for a positive reason. You can experience change easier this way if you don't feel like this is just the way you are and I'm set in stone. For that is not the truth. Your reality will allow you to see that there are many things, even in a small way, initiating a small change can create what we will call a trigger, a point where everything begins to become easier. Just one small change can be connected to everything else. It allows the energy to move, you see. So we congratulate you on your progress and on the new human that you are becoming and allowing, just simply allowing to become. You do not have to define it. You do not have to project an image of it. The important part is to stay present and to know that being in a positive state, to staying in a way that you know that life is happening for you each and every day, even if you don't understand how. You can ask for help on that with your guidance system. Show me how this is benefiting me. I'm going through something really difficult and I don't understand. How is this benefiting me? Show me the next step. And this is how your intuition, your true guidance team that is around you each and every day, leaving that open will allow them to show you many solutions to things that you may not have thought of yet, that may present themselves now that you're open to it, that flow of energy. So we just say that this is our message for you today, to tune into that and tune into that collective that is wanting to be more compassionate and kind. And you may see it in the younger people before you see it in the older people. It will be much easier for them to feel this new wave of positive energy. And so let their light shine and let you be part of that. If you can join into with a young person in their joy, allow yourself to experience what that feels like. It may have been a while. And this is our message for you today, with much love and affection for you, each and every step of the way on your path. We are there. Namaste. Thank you.